I'm Korean teacher Hyunok-jang.
And my name is Gerhard. I'm learning Korean. In lesson number 19 on adjectives in the Korean for Beginners playlist, you will learn that
예쁘다.
예쁘다 is an exception. 누구예요?
뉴진스예요. 뉴진스가 너무 예뻐요.
뉴진스. 예쁘다 in the present tense does not become
예쁘어요.
not 예뻐요 as one could expect, but
예뻐요.
예뻐요. In this video, you will learn why this is the case. The irregular verbs and adjectives appear tricky, but don't worry. Let's recap what they are, and then we take it one step at a time. Unlike pronunciation rules, which only affect how certain sounds are pronounced in specific syllable combinations, irregular verbs and adjectives are all about how certain words conjugate when they meet specific grammatical endings. In this playlist, we practice with various grammatical forms. Even if you have not learned specific grammar topics yet, that's okay. The rules for irregular verbs and adjectives remain consistent across different grammatical structures. And while pronunciation rules don't change the way words are written, irregular verbs do change based on the endings they encounter. Plus, pronunciation rules apply every time a certain combination of sounds occurs, while most irregular verbs and adjectives only apply to specific verbs and adjectives. That's why you have to memorize which verbs and adjectives are irregular. The good news is that the irregular verbs and adjectives we're learning today, those ending in are always irregular. You won't need to memorize which words are conjugated differently. All of them are. Now let's get into it. Here is the rule.
If the verb or adjective stem ends with and the next syllable starts with a vowel like a or the is removed.
This isn't just for a few irregular verbs and adjectives. As mentioned, this applies to all verbs and adjectives that end in So whenever you see a verb or adjective with an at the end and it's followed by a or o, you know the will drop. Let's look at some examples to make this clear.
Let's change 예쁘다 to present tense first.
예쁘다 means pretty.
We remove 다 first.
Like we always do when we conjugate anything. If the last vowel of the adjective stem is a or o, we add
아요.
ayo. But the last vowel of the adjective stem is and not a or o, so we add
어요.
oyo.
So 예쁘어요.
That's what we would assume if we conjugated it normally, if it wasn't irregular, right?
But meets a or o?
Gets removed.
Yes. Removes. So like this.
예뻐요.
네. This is just a placeholder.
Placeholder?
So we write like this. 예뻐요.
예뻐요.
So 예쁘다, 예뻐요.
Not 예뻐요. 예뻐요 and 예뻐요 becomes 예뻐요. We don't need the placeholder.
Here are more words ending with 으. 쓰다,
쓰다 means to write or to use.
끄다,
To turn off.
크다,
크다 means big or tall.
키가 크다. 키 means
키 means height. 가 is a particle. And 키가 크다 means to be tall.
예쁘다,
예쁘다, to be pretty.
기쁘다,
To be pleased, to be happy.
슬프다.
To be sad. Let's conjugate these words with different grammar forms to see how the irregular verbs in are conjugated. What grammar forms do we have?
아요, 어요 is
Present tense.
present tense.
왔어요, 없어요? Past
Past
tense.
tense. 고,
고 means and is used to combine sentences.
지만.
지만 is but.
어서
어서 is because.
을 거예요.
을 거예요 is the future tense. As mentioned before, you don't have to know these grammar rules yet because it's only about the ending of the verb or adjective stem and what follows.
So 쓰다, 다 is removed first. And the vowel is not a or o. So we add oyo.
Oyo.
And what happened after that? If the vowel meets a or o,
Is removed.
yes.
Yes.
So it's removed. So 써요. 쓰다, 써요.
쓰다, 써요. So same as before with 예쁘다,
네, 예뻐요.
예뻐요. We also don't need the placeholder here, but s and o, they become one syllable.
네.
써요,
써요.
써요.
써요. And let's change it to past tense.
Let's change to past tense.
쓰다. And it's the same. The vowel is it's not a or o. So we add 없어요.
없어요,
And meets o.
어.
So is removed like the present tense. So 썼어요. 썼어요.
썼어요. It seems complicated when we show it like this at first, but then the principle always remains the same.
So 써요, 썼어요. 써요, 썼어요.
써요, 썼어요. What about 고?
고, 쓰다, 고. 다 is removed,
다 is removed as always.
but 고, this is a consonant, right?
Yes, so it's not a or o.
Or
It actually also wouldn't matter if it's a or o. It's actually, the rule is that if meets a vowel, but we say if meets a or o because there are actually no other cases. Yes, there are no other vowels it can meet. You will see that in a moment.
yes. So it's just 쓰고, 쓰고.
So this is as if it was conjugated regularly, because the rule just doesn't apply if it doesn't meet a vowel or if it doesn't meet a or o.
네. Then, do you want to try this one?
지만.
예, 지만.
지만 is but. Yes.
Yes.
So it doesn't meet a vowel a or o. It meets a consonant. So same as with go.
고, yes.
It's kind of conjugated regularly, meaning it's 쓰지만.
Yeah, that's right. 쓰지만. 쓰지만.
쓰지만. And then the next grammar rule, 아소,
also, because.
Because. 아소, also, because. And obviously here it's again a, o. Yes.
So, 써서. 써서.
써서.
네, is removed.
Is removed. We also don't need the placeholder in 아소, also, 써서.
써서. The future tense, if there is a 받침, we add 을 거예요.
So if there is a final consonant, we add
을 거예요.
을 거예요. The thing is that if our verb or adjective stem is there is obviously no
받침. So, 쓰다.
And that's what we just said, that it's either a or o. In 을 거예요, we would have a vowel but that doesn't happen with our with our verbs or adjectives because there is no 받침.
네. So, 다 we have to remove first, and 쓰 doesn't have 받침. So, 네. 받침 들 거예요.
들 거예요.
쓸 거예요.
So is not removed because it doesn't meet a vowel, or it doesn't meet a or o, means the same thing. Now let's take a look at the rest of the words The principle always remains the same as with the example we just discussed.
쓰다, 써요, 썼어요, 쓰고, 쓰지만, 써서, 쓸 거예요. 끄다, 꺼요, 껐어요, 끄고, 끄지만, 꺼서, 끌 거예요. 컴퓨터를 꺼요. 핸드폰을 꺼요. 키가 크다. or 크다. 커요. 컸어요. 크고. 크지만. 커서. 클 거예요. 걔한테는 키도 크고 멋있어요. 예쁘다. 예뻐요. 예뻤어요. 예쁘고. 예쁘지만. 예뻐서. 예쁠 거예요. 기쁘다. 기뻐요. 기뻤어요. 기쁘고. 기쁘지만. 기뻐서. 기쁠 거예요. 슬프다. 슬퍼요. 슬펐어요. 슬프고. 슬프지만. 슬퍼서. 슬플 거예요. 너무 슬퍼요. 이 드라마가 너무 슬퍼요.
Now here is one more thing. When is removed because of the rule, the last vowel becomes the one from the previous syllable, if there is a previous syllable. If the last vowel therefore becomes a or o, you add io instead of oyo. This happens because the final vowel is no longer so the verb or adjective now follows the regular conjugation rule, which in the case of the last vowel a or o is, for example, to add io in present tense.
네.
네.
Let's have a look at an example. 나쁘다 means bad.
Bad. To be bad.
Yeah, to be bad. So, 나쁘다. Let's change to the present tense. 나쁘어요. 나쁘어요.
나쁘어요. We remove
으?
because of the rule.
Rules?
It meets a vowel, so we remove
Yeah. But it's not 나빠요 because the last vowel is not anymore. It's a a. So we add 아요 instead of 어요.
나빠요.
Yes. So 나빠요. 나빠요.
Let's look at a few more examples. Here are a few more examples of words that end in a or o after is removed.
아프다.
아프다, to be sick, to be hurt.
네. 배고프다.
To be hungry.
바쁘다.
To be busy.
나쁘다.
We already had 나쁘다, to be bad.
아프다.
So, 아프다, to be hurt, to be sick. We remove but because we remove a becomes the last vowel. Therefore, we add 아요.
네.
아파요.
네, 아파요. 아베. 아베.
괜찮아요?
배가 아파요.
And the same thing happens with the past tense.
Mm-hmm.
We add 아서요 instead of 어서요. 아팠어요.
Yeah, because of this Yeah.
Because of this
아팠어요.
아팠어요.
아파요, 아팠어요.
아파요, 아팠어요. Now remember, if meets a consonant and not a or o, such as in go or 지만, is not removed and the verb or adjective is modified as usual. So we keep and it's 아프고 or
아프지만.
아프지만. So in the case of aso also, because in Korean, it's again aso, aso and not also.
네. So 아파서.
아파서. And in the case of the future tense, it's again conjugated as usual. It would be 를 거예요 or 을 거예요, but it's never 을 거예요 because it never ends in a 받침. It always ends in
So 아플 거예요.
아플 거예요. Now let's look at the rest of the examples.
아프다. 아파요. 아팠어요. 아프고. 아프지만. 아파서. 아플 거예요. 배고프다. 배고파요. 배고팠어요. 배고프고. 배고프지만. 배고파서. 배고플 거예요. 꼬르륵 꼬르륵. 배가 고파요. 배고파요. 바쁘다. 바빠요. 바빴어요. 바쁘고. 바쁘지만. 바빠서. 바쁠 거예요. 요즘 일이 많아요?
네, 많아요. 너무 바빠요.
나쁘다. 나빠요. 나빴어요. 나쁘고. 나쁘지만. 나빠서. 나쁠 거예요. 날씨가 나빠요. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.